Hello everyone! Today we're going to do the latte makeup trend. The latte makeup trend, this is not like a new thing really. It's a look that's like been stunning for years now, but obviously TikTok has made it kind of popular and named it something. I did upload a short recently which was very much the latte trend, so I'll link that short below. It's here on YouTube. It's a stunning look. I was just doing a really easy makeup look that day, so you can check that out if you want another version of this look. But today I'm going to do a little bit different, use some different products, just play around. The goal is latte tones, so like kind of like warm brown tones. I might add in like a touch of gold, some glowiness. A lot of the looks are very glowy, kind of like natural but not natural, if that makes sense. Like the skin is kind of natural, the brows are very like fluffy. So let's just do my version. First I'm going to even out the tan on my chest because I have just applied it and Porter scratches me. So the fake tan, when it's developing, picks up every little like mark on my skin. It comes right after I rinse off the color guard, but you know, we're just gonna even it out with this body bronzer. Like look how beautiful that looks. This thing is amazing. I've had this since like 2013 or something and I'm obsessed with it still to this day. I'll link it down below for you. So I'm just gonna start by brushing my brows up a little, just making them look a bit more fluffy. I did tint them recently, so that's gonna help just make them look a bit more polished. I was finding for ages that when I was like doing my brows fluffy like this, they looked like crap, and I think it's because my brows weren't tinted and they just looked very like eh. Honestly, tinting makes such a big difference, guys, and you can do it at home. It's actually so easy. I have videos on it as well if you want to know like how to do it. So I won't do anything else to my brows just yet. I'm gonna go straight onto the skin. Just gonna use a bit of concealer first to kind of carve out my brows a little. If you're loving like the latte color trend as well, you're gonna love my next collection with XO Beauty. It's coming out very soon. For the skin, I'm thinking this because we want it to be like natural but not natural. I don't know, natural radiant but still a bit of coverage. And I forgot to put on primer. We're gonna go ahead and mix in a glowy base. And to make sure this really blends all together as one, we're gonna use a brush today instead of a sponge. Alright, we're looking pretty flawless, but I want to do some bronzer and things now. The latte makeup trend has that really warm bronzer, which is like my favorite type of bronzer. I've got so many favorite like warm tone bronzers, so I'll just show you a couple as well. Here is one of my favorites for cream. This is Golden Tan by Anastasia Beverly Hills. The lighting is honestly testing me. Here we go. You can see it's a very like orangey kind of bronzer. I know some people like don't like the orange vibes. I love them. Okay, as long as you're not putting it all over your face, it looks so good. I'm literally gonna take it and just like stamp it on. A little bit on the nose. So there we have like the latte skin. Obviously we'll add more and more layers to it. And I'll show you my favorite warm powder bronzers too, but this is definitely such a good one if you like that kind of really warm undertone for like a cream. And don't forget, you can also put this on and then go on with a less warm bronzer on top, and it just acts as a really nice base just to give you that warmth to your complexion without looking like crazy as well. You see what I mean? Like if you compare it to Macchiato by Fenty, this one's so much cooler and it's still got a bit of warmth to it. This one is like pure like warm. I remember saying to myself I needed to use my ABH blush sticks because there's some beautiful shades, so right now could be the perfect opportunity while I'm talking about the brand. Look at that color. This one's also beautiful. This one is Peachy Keen, and then this one is Nectarine, and then this one's beautiful. It's got a shimmer. It's called Bubblegum. I'm gonna use Bubblegum and Nectarine. So Nectarine is like neon peach. It's so pretty. And then we're gonna take the pinky one and blend that in over top. See, it's still peachy though, so it'll go with like the overall vibe of this makeup. But I want like a decent amount of blush on. I'm going to put a little bit across my nose. I'm going to let my skin just settle a bit. We'll set it later with powder and do some concealer later. For now, I'm just going to focus on the eyes. Actually, I'm just going to go back in with Macchiato by Fenty to kind of carve out where I'm going to put eyeshadow today. So this is going to like contour, add a little bit of that latte vibe. We're going to go in with the crease blender brush. and literally just pop that through like the crease. If you have a cream eyeshadow, you could use that instead. For latte makeup, one of the best things you can do is just use bronzer, like on your eyes as well. So this is one of my favorite super warm bronzers. It's Hula Caramel by Benefit, and it is just lovely. I've been raving about this for years. I've used it to death. You can still see the inscription. Is that what you would call that? I don't know. So you'd think like I've barely used it. No, I've used this to death. This thing will never like ever run out. I swear I'll have this like in my grave with me. Just gonna dab a little bit on that same brush, and I'm going to pop that through the crease and outer corner. Can you see that colour? It's like the perfect latte makeup colour. I feel like part of the key of this makeup look as well is to kind of look effortless. So we're not gonna go crazy on eyeliner and lashes and things. Now another bronzer I've recently discovered, you guys have seen it. You've seen it on my full face of first impressions I did, and I was like, oh gosh, I completely bought the wrong colour. But it turns out I absolutely love it on my eyes, and of course you could find an eyeshadow that's a similar shade. It's literally falling apart, but it's the Taylor bronzer in I Went to Saint-Tropez by Kimchi. The comments on the video made it sound like, yep, they reckon mine is just a like faulty one because no one else's have been like destroyed like mine. Every time I open it, it's worse. Like, look at this. I know I could like fix it and blah blah blah, but honestly guys, I'm just gonna tip out all of the excess and use like what's in the pan because I'm never gonna run out of it still. Like, it's so friggin' broken, it's like hideous, but I do love the formula and I love the colour for eyeshadow on me. It's a little bit too dark for me unless I use it very sparingly. But it's kind of like a latte red kind of undertone. So I'm going to tap off my brush. I feel like this is the perfect latte colour because it's like a little bit more yellowy golden undertones, not so much red. But I'm going to take the tiniest amount of this. Whoa, okay, that's not very tiny. I just want to darken it slightly. So I'm going to really blend that in, kind of underneath where I've put the other colour because I don't want to take over. Now if you get really oily eyelids and like creasing eyelids, you might not want to use the bronzer as a base for this. You might need like a proper eye primer or like cream eyeshadow. Don't you just love how much effort goes into a makeup look that's supposed to look effortless? Like, I swear these makeup looks take way more. Anyways, we're gonna add a little bit of gold just to make it a bit different from like some of the other latte looks I've done lately. This is Beach Bay Chrome Paint by Tarte. I hope they still make these because they are literally amazing. I'm just gonna use my finger to pat a little bit of this on the lid. I'm just using my finger because I don't want it to be too perfect looking. I want it to look very blended in with the other shades. It's there and it's golden, but it's not like gonna take over the latte tones. Let's do a little bit of concealer. I don't need a whole lot of coverage, but we just want to conceal under there, and then I'll do some like lower lash action. I'm going to use the shade P3 from Natasha Denona under the eye. And I haven't tried it with a sponge to blend it. This is an ultra soft powder puff actually, not even a sponge, but you know. And then I'm going to set that with like a pale yellow setting powder. I want to use my Rosita by Dominique, but I can't friggin' see where it is. It's disappeared. Disappeared from plain sight. And I'm also going to set strategically around my nose, center of my chin, center of my forehead. I look very matte right now, but we'll let it kind of settle in and use some setting spray to bring back the glow. We want the glow. Last time I used this was a few months ago, but when I used it, everyone asked me what it was. Like, I got so many questions, so many more than normal. I was like, oh, okay. Charlotte Tilbury Copper Charge. It's a double-ended eyeliner. Charlotte Tilbury, like I said. We're going to use the dark brown on the tight line. Really get it in there, okay? Really scrub it. So I want a little bit to kind of come onto that top lash line as well. Focusing out on that outer like part of my eye just to make my eyes look a bit bigger, and then just using a brush to blend it out a little bit. I'm not really doing like a wing, I'm just literally blending it. Do you see the difference? Like when you blend it out, it just looks so much nicer. And then going in with the like shimmerier color and popping that underneath. I'm going to take a very small brush, like a short shadow brush, back in with my Hula Caramel. I want to smudge this underneath just a little bit. And then I'm also going to blend that into the eyeliner on the top just to make it kind of match undertones a bit better. For mascara today, we're going to test out the brand new Benefit Mascara Fan Fest Fanning and Volumizing Mascara. I'm not going to curl my lashes, I'm just going to see what happens. Oh my god, that stung my eye. Hold on. Okay, round two. I'm going to be a bit more careful this time. My favourite Benefit mascara is their Roller Lash. This one seems to be, is it a bit more dry or something? The formula is so different. Oh, it gives you a really pretty like fluttery lash. And the more I add, the more fluttery they look. Pleasantly surprised. I'm glad I did not quit because as soon as I like got it in my eye before, I was ready to throw it in the bin. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. I'll let the results speak for themselves. I mean, I'm not even done like applying it and it looks so good. It's reasonably fast to apply, which I love. I don't like mascaras that you have to faff around with. And just really fluttery fanned out lashes. I totally understand why they've called it that. Let's do the bottom lash. I will say when it touches your skin, it's low-key hard to get off. I feel like if I add more, it's just going to start looking really clumpy. I don't know if I like it as much as Roller Lash, but I definitely really do like it. And do you feel like sometimes with mascara, the more you use it, the better it gets? Like the formula changes or something once you open it, do you know what I mean? So maybe I'll love it even more soon. I'll keep you guys updated. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I am going to go throwback. We're going to use a little bit of Reflex Gold on the inner corner. I'm using a pencil brush and I just wet it a little bit with some setting spray. I'm just going to like literally dot it right on the inner corner. I'm not going to like blend it out heaps. I've wiped off my brush and any excess. Actually, let me just add a little bit more. I'm going to put it right underneath the arch of my brow. Before we do the lips, let's do the rest of the face makeup. So I'm going back in with my Hoola Caramel, just taking a small amount, and I'm just going to dust that over kind of where I put some of that bronzer earlier on, just to set it and make it pop. This bronzer, sometimes like you put it on and it starts looking very like weird, but it blends out so easy, guys, so don't be scared. I'm going to use a very small bit of Tulip by XO Beauty just to kind of make my cheeks pop a little bit more. Do you see that? It just brightened it up a lot. This blush is unreal. I love it. And then actually, let's use what we used on my chest as like a highlighter. So I'm going to take a bronzer brush and I'm going to softly dust this over where my cheekbones are, down the nose, just over top of the brow. Oh, I thought the lighting had like sorted itself out for the day, but apparently not. And guys, that is the perfect finishing touch. Wow. Over my brows, I'm just going to run over with this Color Hair Beguile. I can't remember how to say this. I used to always use this. It's got like a golden kind of flick through it. I love it in my brows. And then through the front there where like I just need some more definition, I'm using the Micro Filling Pen by Benefit. It's just got these little like brush hair kind of like strokes to it. I really want to do faux freckles today, but I don't want to ruin my makeup. So I might do my lips, take some pictures, and then we'll try faux freckles at the very end, just in case. For the lips, you could leave them very natural with just a little bit of lip oil, lip stain. That looks stunning. Or you could go more defined. I'm gonna go maybe a bit of both. This is Misty by XO Beauty. I'm gonna go in with Lucid. It's got the perfect kind of like peachy undertone. To be honest, I was going to add gloss, but I think I like it just like this. And this is my version of Latte Makeup. There's no right or wrong. I mean, as long as you're in that latte color family. So here's how it looks just as is without any faux freckles. I love it. Probably should have done this before powder. Oh gosh. I'm just using my brush to kind of dab over them. I think I just need to not rush because when I do these really gentle small ones, they look cute. But if I rush and do big blobs, it looks terrible. So just take your time. Crazy how I grew up hating my freckles and now I'm painting them on my face. Go figure. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was highly requested. I know I love watching people create this kind of makeup look, so hopefully you guys learned some little tips and tricks or some new products to try or something. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!